Hello, YouTube. Okay, so it's been a few days since we've seen each other. What have I been up to? You might be wondering. I did some stuff and I didn't film it. So, last you saw, I did a fiberglass repair job. It was pretty amateur, I'm not gonna lie. This is what it looks like currently. It has some voids right here, and I filled it with one layer of body filler. Now I'm going to sand that down, and look, there's still little holes and stuff. I'm going to sand it down and also sand the entire boler again, and then sanding one more time. And I'm really hoping that that's it for sanding. I'm done with sanding. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I'm all done with sanding. Mentally, I don't want to anymore. Get this not so fun part out of the way. So one of the things that I did already is tape up the windows, and they looked really good for like 10 minutes and everything started peeling, and I beefed up the tape and bought the most expensive stuff I could find, and it is not sticking, and I changed methods, and I don't know what to do, you guys. But right now it's good enough to keep dust out of the boler when I'm sanding, but when we get to the painting step, who knows? Who knows what I'm gonna do? All right, so third thing I did off camera is I took off all the silicone that a previous owner had packed in here. There are tons of divots in the fiberglass here, and the previous owner just packed those full of silicone, and that eventually started lifting, and it was just a bit of a goopy mess. And so I cleaned it up really, really well. I used a wire brush on a drill, and I got all of the silicone out, and then I vacuumed it up, and I put some fiberglass resin in there. Would have a lot more longevity than silicone, hopefully. I think it looks pretty slick. It is nice and smooth now, and there was also some very, very, very deep areas, and so it filled in those areas. There's still a ridge here on the belly band. I like it that way. So when I'm sanding everything, I'm also going to polish the belly band, and then I'm gonna tape that off. So I feel like it's just endless sanding, polishing. I always think painting is tomorrow, but there's so many things to do, you guys. If ever you want to restore one of these bowlers, or if you are restoring a bowler, if you think you need a weekend for sanding, give yourself 3, because it's non-stop. It just doesn't end. Okay, it looks really good right now. All right, you guys, I wish I could tell you that this side was ready for paint, but it's not. We need body filler up here. We need some body filler down here. A little bit over this rivet. I'm trying not to sand rivets too much. And of course we need some body filler over here, and we need that. It was anticipated. A little bit of work to be done. I'm actually keeping this whole. But a little bit more body filler is needed right there. And the second layer body filler is often something that requires a couple layers. So yes, you might be wondering, Ellie, why did you get started so late? I've actually been working on the bowler all day long. Like I said, there was a lot that I didn't film, but 2 of the 5 sides, including the top, are sanded, but also 2 of the 5 sides need some body filler, probably. They all do. So for tonight, we're gonna wrap this up, and I'll see you in the morning. Fitting the fridge in is going to be a little bit of a challenge. It's actually not going to be as much of a challenge as anticipated because luckily the internet was wrong. And everywhere I looked for measurements on this thing had the same measurements, but the actual measurements of the fridge are smaller than what is listed online. So fortunately, we don't have to do as much as I thought. The original plan was to build this out 4 inches and put a new facing on it, but the discrepancy online is so great that actually I don't have to build this out at all. And all I have to do now is just cut a larger hole for the fridge, only by a little bit, 1/4 inch here, and then of course a few inches up on top, and cut this out and then slide it in. Hopefully it's that easy. So I guess like that. It's not good enough, huh? The nice thing about being at families for the summer is I get to play with all of their toys, and they have a quad. So one of Willow's favorite things to do is to run alongside, or rather in front of the quad. You ready? It is a very special day today because today is the first day of blue skies in quite some time. We were in the thick of it with forest fire season. There was fires really close. There was smoke that was just so incredibly thick, and it was hard to breathe. It was muggy. It was like physically draining to be in that smoke. And we just had 2 of the best rains back to back, and I'm really hoping that forest fire season can really slow down, come to an end, and for me, that means that I can get back to work on the exterior of the Boler. We're gonna paint this thing, you guys, one way or another. A little bit more sanding, and then we're gonna paint this thing. Now let's get back to it. All right, you guys, so we are once again going to be sanding today. I hope that this is the last real long stint of sanding. I'm loving this project. I don't even mind the sanding. I just feel like it's a lot of sanding for you guys to watch. So this is the step in the restoration where I sand the whole entire Boler once with a really fine sandpaper, make sure that it's ready for primer, and also sand my repair jobs down here. So on this fiberglass, I did not do the best job, and I had to fill some holes. You know, these things happen, especially when you're DIYing it. So filled those holes. I'm gonna sand over everything, but then I'm going to fill it one more time with body filler because I'd like this as smooth as I possibly can get it. So one more application of body filler and one more time sanding. But for now, I'm just gonna sand the entire Boler And this is only a patch job sand, so it shouldn't take much time. This though, the next time lapse you're about to see, my prediction is that I'm gonna be sanding for about 3 more hours today. So let's do it. Good morning. It's a new day and we are sanding again. This is the actual last day of sanding. In fact, this might be the last hour of sanding. I'm really thrilled about that. There have been probably 10 hours of sanding that I didn't even bother to film because y'all don't want all that. I probably would skip through that. You don't need to watch that. So today, the last of the sanding is just this curved edge along the whole boler, just the upper curved edge. I've sanded the top, I've sanded the body. I just need to do that little strip. And then I also did a couple repair jobs with some more body filler yesterday. So I'm just gonna smoothen that down. And then we are done sanding the boler. We do have to do the door still, but that's for next episode. So without further ado, let's finish off this sanding project. I only have to put on this mask a few more times in this project. And do not get me wrong, I am loving this project. I'm enjoying how hands-on it is. I love the DIY. But this step is just, it's time for this step to be over with. You gotta go. They're making you dusty. Brave, but not that brave. You guys, that's it for the sanding. I mean, of the boler. A little door doesn't seem so daunting, but so freaking happy to get that done, you guys. I can't even tell you. So let me show you. Before we end this episode, take a look. So this is the roughest that it's going to look. Just like with the inside, it is an instant gratification task. So all of this is body filler from when I destroyed the front end by sanding on an angle. So you guys, probably a lot of you knew not to do that. I mean, in theory, I knew too, but it just, you kind of get started. I was new to sanding. It happened, and then I had to repair all of my mistakes. So tons of body filler to fill in the carnage. I have the fiberglass patch job here and lots of body filler on this side as well. And you guys, look how hideous this thing is right now. But I'll tell you one thing, she's smooth. So fiberglass is solid, and what else can I tell you? I just polished down the outer edge of the belly band, and all of my hard work to put in these window coverings did not pay off. So much dust inside, but I figured, okay, you know what, it was the type of tape, it was my method, it was so many different things, so I'm just gonna let it fall in, because once it comes time to actually paint, I'll just put fresh stuff up. So next episode I will freshly tape all of that. Finished off sanding top to bottom, you guys. It is ready for a paint job. So thanks for sticking with me with all of the sanding and all of the demolition. I'll catch you guys next week.